Hello, how's it going today? I am here at Sandbanks Provincial Park, one of the Ontario Provincial Parks, and I'm going to do the Sandbanks Dunes Trail today. It is right beside the Dunes Beach, and it's a 2.5 kilometer loop where we can see some amazing dunes, which is a unique biodiversity area with lots of different wildlife. So follow me and let's go off on the trail. Okay, so yeah, let's start with this sign here. We've got our beautiful little map. So there's 3 viewing decks that we can reach, and the dotted line is the barrier-free trail, which is just a shorter trail where you can see some dunes, and this is the entire 2.5 kilometer loop. So let's go off this way. Okay, so it looks like there's a fork in the road here. We can decide which way we'd like to go, left or right. All right, so we're going to go off to our left here. Got a nice wetland area here. So the trail here at Sandbanks Dune Trail is actually very well marked out, and I do believe there's a boardwalk coming up as well. There's some more information over this way. All right, so Sandbanks Dune Trail is the world's largest freshwater baymouth barrier dune system. The barrier-free loop trail to your right is 1 kilometer long. It travels through a unique wetland called a pan, and along the edge of one of the Sandbanks' largest dunes. The main trail ahead is approximately 2 kilometers in length, providing panoramic views of open dunes, forests, and pans. And this sign here goes on to talk about how the dunes were created. 2 million years ago, there was a bunch of glaciers and everything, and covering most of Canada. And then about 12,500 years ago, as the climate warmed, the glaciers retreated for the last time, left the beginnings of the Great Lakes, along with tons of sandy sediment in numerous bays along the southwest shoreline of Prince Edward County. Over thousands of years, sand was slowly brought to shore by wind, currents, and waves, and dropped at the mouth of these bays, creating underwater sandbars. As more sand accumulated, these bars eventually rose above the level of Lake Ontario, cutting off the bays and forming lakes. At 8 kilometers long, the West Lake Bar we are standing on is the largest of its kind in the world. So I think today we're going to go off straight ahead of us and do the 2 kilometer loop. All right, let's start the boardwalk on the Sandbanks Dunes Trail. All right, so we're gonna have to head up that big sand dune there. Let's get to the top. So as you can see, there's lots and lots of sand here at Sandbanks Provincial Park. It's rather different from a lot of the other trails that I've done. I've never done a sand trail before, so we're gonna see how interesting this can be. It is nice to see all these little blue signs leading the way to make sure you don't get lost up here. Just to my left, we're seeing a really beautiful view of the lake. And actually, you can kind of see all the people walking down on the path there as well. All right, we've gotten to the top of the dune here. We're coming up to a little forested area. Looks like the trail goes on this way. This is really cool. There's a nice breeze coming through here. It's about 33 degrees out today with the Humidex, so the nice breeze coming through is just making it a little bit less hot. All right, so we're coming up to a sensitive habitat. So it says here, protecting the Sandbanks dunes. The banks of sand in front of us are coastal dunes, an area where sand has been deposited by wind and waves over thousands of years. Coastal dunes support a rich diversity of plants, insects, birds, and other wildlife, including many rare and threatened species. These fragile dunes are made of loose soil and can easily be eroded. Please help us by staying on the trail to protect this area. All right. Some nice information there. They've also got a nice example here in the photo. This is sand cherry, a plant species that lives here on the sand dunes. So we'll keep an eye out for that and just make sure that we stay on the trail. Let's continue forward. All right, so coming up to another dune here. I think we're gonna just continue off to the right here. Oh, okay, so we're coming up to another boardwalk here. The sand's gonna end. Looks like we're going through a little forested area. Oh, well, this boardwalk was a little bit short-lived. There's more sand coming up ahead of us here. Okay, so we're coming up to another sign that talks about more of the sensitive habitat. So it's the same spiel as the previous sign, but it's just a different plant. So this is the star-flowered Solomon seal. So we'll keep our eyes out for those as well. But yeah, we've come up to a beautiful marshy area. All right, I believe we're coming up to a viewpoint here, so we'll get a better view of our marsh. So this is unlike any marsh that I've ever seen. You can kind of see the sand in the water there. It just looks very unique. One of the amazing views here at Sandbanks Provincial Park. All right, so that's a really nice view of the marsh there. Let's continue on the trail and see what else there is to see here at Sandbanks Dune Trail. All right, so we got another little boardwalk going through another marshy area. Okay, so here we are. There's another amazing view of the marsh area here. It's really interesting, really unique landscape, something I've never really kind of seen before. I've seen bogs and marshes, but this is different. You can kind of tell that it's marshy, but there's also like a lot of sand out there. And you know, not a lot of things can grow in sand, so it's just interesting to see. So there's lots more to come. Let's go off this way and see what else there is. All right, so we're coming up to another forested area. A little bit less sand. Man, so many different landscapes here on the Dunes Trail. We had a dune with lots of sand. We had a marshy area. Now we're in a forest. Okay, so we've come out of the forest and we've got another big dune to climb here. All right, so we have another sensitive habitat. So it's going to talk about the wormwood, a plant species that kind of looks like a spruce tree. Not quite. Looks like it grows in the sand. Let's keep an eye out for that as well. All right, we got another boardwalk here. There's a good mixture of boardwalk and normal trail. If you've seen my channel before, you know I'll appreciate a good boardwalk. Oh yeah, so here's that plant we were talking about there. That's really cool. Okay, so there's another lookout spot. Let's go up there and see what the view looks like. Okay, so this is an interesting lookout. You can see all the different sand dunes that are around. I think that's what the point of this lookout is, just to get you to see all the different dunes and all the really interesting plants that live here. All right, so we're done with that viewing platform. On to the next one. Looks like we're going to be walking through the middle of some dunes here. This is really cool. A very unique landscape, something I've never seen before. And it's right here in Ontario. All right, so we're coming back around into the forest again. Just a little bit. All right, so this is a little tiny pathway off this way. And I can see beyond the trees some really big dunes I want to show you. Wow. You don't see this every day in Ontario. This is really cool. Okay. Wow. What a view. Got lots of people here at the beach enjoying themselves in the water. Beautiful. What an amazing view up here. 360-degree view is really cool. all the dunes, and then you got the water behind us here. Beautiful. Wow, what an amazing trail to get up to this point here at the Dunes Beach here at Sandbanks. What a beautiful view. And everything is just so amazing out here. And if we turn off this way a little bit, behind me now we can see the dunes. Beautiful spot. Come on down to Sandbanks and check it out. It's about 2.5 kilometer long trail. It took me about 45 minutes, I would say, to do the whole thing, just because I was stopping and taking video and stuff. But if you have a brisk pace, you'll do it in 30 minutes. Can't get over this view. Come on down and check it out. I appreciate it if you follow along. Hit like and subscribe on there, and let me know how I'm doing and if there's any other places that you'd like to see me go. Because views like this are just worth it. Thank you, and as always, I will see you at the next one.